Okay, so here's the issue today. Well, had a real hard time finding a good starter for this, for my van here. Honestly, I haven't been driving it, and it's been one problem after another for this winter. But here's the latest issue. It could be a starter thing. I'm thinking it might be the ignition switch, actually. That's a newish ignition switch. Very strange problem though. Watch this. I'm just going to turn the key to the run position, and it turns over. And it even turns over if I turn it backwards. Not really sure why that would be. Obviously that's kind of an issue, since, you know, if the van were to actually start, the starter would be engaged and it would burn the starter out. So, it's a mystery, and we're going to figure it out. I'll let you know what happens. This is the switch in question right here. US84 style ignition switch. It's a fairly common. As you can see, there's all kinds of them for sale on the internet. Real standard ignition switch in older GM cars. This little hole on the lock cylinder, which you can see just to the right. I'm going to put the, oh, sorry about that. I'm going to put this piece of wire in that hole, and there's a little button in there that you can feel push. Oh, well, you can't. There's actually, you have to turn the lock cylinder to the, I think that's the accessory position, and then you stick the wire in this little hole, press in, and you'll feel it press a little button in, and then you're going to turn the key again backwards, and then it pops out just like that. And then to get it back in is really easy. You just put it back in and it's back in. So yeah, so you put the key in, turn it to the accessory or backwards, push the little button, and then turn it some more, and it just pops right out like that. I remember being really confused about that. And but yeah, so that's how the lock cylinder comes out. The reason why you have to do that before you can get this off is that there is some kind of a lip here. Once you start unscrewing this piece here to get the ignition switch off, it won't come off unless you take the lock cylinder out. There's some kind of a lip there that it can't pass by. I forget exactly why it doesn't come off, but anyways, you gotta take that lock cylinder out before you can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna just take the ignition switch out now. Okay, so for testing, the way I plan on testing this is by using my multimeter here, just on the continuity setting. We've got 2 test leads here. I'm just gonna test continuity between the battery hookup, ignition, solenoid, and accessory. The other 2 are for your dash, ground 1 and ground 2 for your brake light and parking. They're for a couple lights on your dash. I'm not exactly sure how those are hooked up, but we'll see. Anyway, so I'm going to test continuity between these points here. Okay, it's hard for me to do this while holding the camera, but I have confirmed that there is this new ignition switch is faulty. What I'm doing here is testing between the battery and the solenoid, which stands for the starter solenoid. that should only be connected in the start position, temporary start position, which it is in this older switch. In this new switch, you get continuity between the bat and the solenoid in every position, which is obviously not supposed to be that way. You gotta pinch these tabs inwards to pull this out. So I'm gonna put this old switch back on here. And also, you don't need to have the key cylinder in there. You can see there's a slot in there if you look carefully, and you can just stick a screwdriver in there and turn it. So I'm going to put this back on and we're going to see if it runs. What do you know, folks? Started right up, and basically I just had a screwdriver in here. Now the next problem I have is I got to replace that starter motor again. This part of the video is going to be a rant, so get ready for this. Oh god. Biggest problem with this van is not the van. This is a 1972 GMC Bandura. It's a great vehicle. But you know what? The biggest problem for this van is getting good parts. That switch from China was done in about 8 months. The starter motor in this van is brand new, and it's still, and it's going to need to be replaced. It's only been in here for about 2 weeks. Chinese parts, man. Delco parts, remanufactured parts. Absolute trash. I don't know. The quality control is garbage, so I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do about this. But I'll get a new switch, see if I can find a better switch that's not made in China. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys.